What's up, babies? Glad to see you here. Remember, boys, it's my channel. I'm gonna do my best. Do my best to keep my voice going. It's definitely fading. This cold is brutal, man. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Like, there are people who have it way worse than me with just a common cold, but still, like, colds are tough to deal with. They're a pain. They're a pain in the butt, and I'm definitely starting to feel it in my throat here. So expect a lot of that. Expect a lot of throat clearing and snuffling. I'll do my best to, like, you know, when it's time for me to take short breaks and all that, I'll try and do it away from the mic. So, but hopefully everyone else is having a good day. Despite the cold, the illness cold, not like the weather cold. It's actually been pretty warm lately, which I'm stoked about. And that's part of the reason why I say, despite my cold, I'm having a good day. I'm in a good spot. I'm getting kind of tired, right, from having from you know, putting up the energy to stream and all that kind of stuff here with the cold. And I think I'm tired now. I'm gonna be even more tired later because I still got to get a workout in today. Because that's the news. I don't think I shared it on the last stream. That's news for me. I've got you know, I train Muay Thai kickboxing. Anyone who's not aware, I train that regularly, and one of my goals this year was to get a fight in, and it's looking like that will more than likely happen in about a month from now. Small, low-key event where there's just a group of, going to be an opportunity for a group of all of us sort of amateurs, not looking to try and be super, you know, big famous UFC stars or anything like that. You know, we're just looking to test ourselves a little bit. Gonna meet up and you know, try and match up, and each of us have a little fisticuffs fight. So I'll be doing that soon. This is exciting. I mean, it was my goal to have a fight this year, and to be able to knock that out in April. It's like, boy, oh boy, that sets me up for like 8 months of just chilling, right? Like, because that's like the biggest, scariest goal that I have for myself this year, because that's the only one that actively puts me in harm's way. So, you know, to get that done early, so long as it all works out, is super, super exciting. But it means that I also, cold or not, need to get my training going for these last few weeks to make sure I'm properly prepared. Not much to worry about, honestly. I mean, it's all amateurs. We're going to be padded up, and none of us are good enough to really do any real damage to each other. You know, I like to think that I'm pretty okay, better than the average Joe Schmo, but, like, let's be real. Like, I'm not, you know, freaking Uriah Hall walking in there ready to club someone in the head and put him out for 10, 15 minutes. Like, that's not, I don't really have those. I'm not that good. I'm not that good, okay? I know my skill levels, and I know it ain't at that level. Point is, I'm running low on energy, but I better find that energy because I gotta get out and I gotta train. It'll be a technique heavy day. It won't be a cardio burnout kind of day, because that'll happen pretty quick when I just do technique. So it's gonna be one of those days. But I don't know, man. I'm good. Like I say, you know, like, it's hard to, it's, you know, like I say, this is the concept of, you know, having a fight lined up, you know, when that was my one big goal for the year, and already having that lined up, that being the most nerve-wracking part of my year, really to look forward to, and just sort of having an end in sight for, you know, just the generalized stress and anxiety. Like, even when you want to do something like that, like, you're not normal if there isn't at least some stress and anxiety involved with going into a ring and, you know, facing the reality that someone will be trying to punch and kick you in the teeth. You know, you don't, if you're a sane person, you don't enter that without some level of stress in your mind and body. And so, like, that's, you know, the prospect of being able to knock that out, that's a good metaphor, to knock that one off, to check that one off the to-do list really early has me really excited. Because, you know, the other thing about it too is, I mean, you know, I know enough about competing that worst case scenario, I just kind of shell up and survive for, you know, it's a big event. There's going to be a lot of people there. They're not going to have all kinds of time for us to do these big 5-minute round fights. You know, it's not going to be a half-hour fight. It's, you know, they're going to be 2 or 3 2-minute rounds. So it's like, yeah, I can survive for 6 minutes. I can do that. I can get that done. That's like one UFC round. I can pull that off and get it done. Worst case scenario. So I don't know. That combined with just generally other things in my life going good, I'm in a good place. Cold be damned. I'm in a good place today, and hopefully that means we're gonna have some good times gaming. Let me go ahead and get the game started. I'll kill the music in a second just so we can let the game music take over for us, but let me get the game loaded up first. And then we'll switch our cam over here. So there goes the game. Let's cut that music out here, and then let's go ahead and get us going live here. Oh yeah, just in time so we can see our little baby. Look at him. Ah, he's so proud of himself. Cracks me up, man. Ah, it's so cute. So cute. It cracks me up. Ah, the little elephant, so proud of himself. Let's I mean, we can probably just do resume, but I want to make sure. We're working on Animal Land. I'm building Animal Land. It's gonna be my dream zoo. Made some really good progress on it last time. So here's shoot, now I'm gonna have to really adjust my mindset on how to operate controls for this, because I was just working with maps for writing for D&D there. I was just working on maps. Let's see, we gotta pause this. I gotta remember to pause each time because people are so unhappy because I haven't built anything yet. But yeah, I was just doing maps for D&D writing, and now I'm working on like kind of a map again, but the controls are entirely different, so I need to like adjust my thinking and remember the controls for this game. But we're building Animal Land. It's gonna be like my dream zoo, and I've got it partitioned based on I decided to do this one like partitioned by continent. So it's like each continent will be featured, you know, and so it's like you can kind of walk around the world and see all the different animals. And like I'm trying to design each area so that it like looks like the types of environments that you would see in those continents and everything. So it's not just a matter of going and seeing the animals. It's also a matter of just like exploring that whole part of the world is what I'm going for here, right? You know, it's like, will the game recognize that that's what I'm doing? No, but I'll know, dang it, and that's what matters. So so that's what we're doing, and so we've been working on the North American area here, and so we've got our North American. There's going to be 4 exhibits, or rather 4 habitats as they call them here. I haven't really decided what all is going in each one, but we got 4 of them, all in these areas, and then we're kind of filling in the surrounding area. We've got the food court area all kind of mapped out and set up here, right? We can see we've got all the food courts and everything, all the different shops and stalls, and then we've got like a nice, like over here, it's almost like, you know, a picnic area. I kind of wanted it to feel almost like if you were at just like a national park campground or something like that is kind of what I was going for. So we have this picnic area with all these benches that go around and everything. It occurred to me that it might not be the worst idea to put some street lamps and stuff here, especially in this area, and it occurs to me that I should do it now before I forget about it completely. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe start off with that. But like we've got the food court area just to give like the tour. We've got the food court area, and then in here did like I forget what are all these, white birch. Yeah, we did like a white birch forest with a few other trees and stuff. But this is kind of meant to be like a forest walk. So it's like you can walk like you're walking through the forest, and then occasionally you'll find these little areas opened up, right? And these are gonna have exhibits for the smaller animals, you know. So it's like, oh, you go look, it's like a salamander, you know. And then you like go back down, and then you walk down further along, And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it branches off and like, oh, what's over here? Oh, look, it's another little thing, like a turtle. And so you can do that, and it'll be a fun little walk there. Hey, glad you're back, Blabo. Glad to see you here. This is my zoo as it is so far. Um, we have a lot of work to do, but I'm gonna. It's the sandbox mode. I thought about I thought about trying to like build it organically in like, an actual challenging mode where it's like you have to worry about money and all that kind of stuff. And I very quickly said, nah, screw that. I just want to make my dream zoo. So we're in sandbox mode where money is no issue, and I'm just like slowly, very attentive to details, slowly building my dream zoo. Um, so yeah, and that's what we've got so far. We have a few exhibits, planned locations for habitats, and a food court, and all of this empty space. But it's a work in progress. So let's go ahead and do some more work on it. I want to do some. Yeah, I want to get some lamps in here, so that way it's walkable. And I'm actually thinking I might want to get in the habit of putting in lamps as I put in pathways and stuff, just so that way I don't forget about stretches of it anywhere like that. And I see I forgot to pause it. Now there's people walking around, and that's why everyone's so unhappy because there's nothing. But that's okay. Work in progress. It'll get there. I do like the concept that like there's these people walking around. I think there was like last time I think I saw a guy that was like walking down this stretch here. See if I can find him again. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. There's a guy. There's a man there. I swear. I swear I'm not insane. There was a man. There was a man, but he's gone. Gone. He disappeared. Got lost. Lost in the wilderness. Ah, I made it too much like a forest. He got lost. But anyway, I do like the idea of like letting some people walk in here and then pausing and then building everything, so that suddenly like these people are walking, then all of a sudden like a zoo explodes into existence around them. Just because I like to imagine that there's some weird time loop or time warp where like they're sentient inside the game, but they don't realize they're in a game. So all of a sudden, just like their world erupts and they just don't have any context for understanding what on earth is happening. And I don't know, maybe that's a little cruel of me to like the idea of that, because it does sound a little torturous now that I'm thinking about it, but I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Let's go ahead and make some like lamps and stuff. I always forget where to find everything. Lamps, there we go. Lights. We want to go ahead and filter it. The theme that we're going for. Hey, Spunkius, how's it going? Glad to see you here. Let's see. We've been doing New World for this portion here, so let's get some like uniform like lamps and stuff. String lights. Oh wow! Can you imagine if I took the time to do the string lights all along the? That would be insane. That would be some insanity right there. Yeah, I'm thinking if we just put like. No, I kind of want them. Oh. Oh, I like the tree light sculptures. Oh, path lights. This is what that's what I'm talking about. Gosh, oh boy. I am super tempted to just take the time and like place these. Oh man. Would that be like the worst thing for me to stream? Be slowly putting path lights everywhere. I want to take advantage of how much detail this game lets you put into what you're working on. Like I really want to take advantage of that. I want to take full advantage of that. I mean, we do need to do also lamps on like these parts of the pathways, and I'm thinking these parts of the pathways are going to be really good for like just doing some of these that kind of go along, right? Some of these just like more standard, city style lamps. Kind of cool. Got like a steampunk feel to it. Let's see here. I like these ones too. Oh, it's a wall lamp, eh? Just lying on the ground. Just someone like tossed them there, like, eh, good enough. Stadium light. The tree light. The tree sculpture lights are cool, but I feel like they would get kind of tiring pretty quick. Path lights. I don't know. I like these little guys. I like the idea of just kind of lining a lot of the areas with these little guys. And just putting... I don't know how often you would need to put them. I don't really know the mechanics of how it would, like, function at night. But I want to do it. So let's go ahead and find some places to start. And let's just take the time. It's going to be tedious. But I want to take the time and, like, I want my... You know, like I say, I want to take advantage of just how much detail they let you put in this game. Like, they have so much that you can do, you know, and I don't want to neglect any of that. Just kind of do periodically, and it's like we could always go back and put in more if we need to. Super entertaining stuff, right? Like, it's like if they actually showed you all of the process of, like, them just waiting for their ovens to preheat on, like, Great British Bake Off or something. It's like, oh, this was an interesting concept, but the execution is terrible. This is horrible television. No one wants to watch this. I feel like that's the level I'm achieving right now. Which, actually, when I think about it, and just the fact that I'm just, like, some goober who's sitting here playing the game, that's probably maximizing my potential. So, hey, you know, I did it. It won't be as bad in the future, because I'll try and do better about remembering to, like, every time I lay a part of a pathway, we'll do this. Like, we'll take the time to do this with each stretch, rather than, like, having to do an entire 1/6 of the zoo that I'm making in one go here. But you need path lights. That way we can do, like, night at the zoozeum events for the people. You do it for the kids. Kids will love it. The kids will think it's great. Great. This is great. Yeah, and see, now we're gonna have to, for these ones, pop them, like, right there on the actual pathway, which kind of looks weird, but just gotta be careful to not put it on the railings. But, like, you gotta have lights on this, right? There's a ramp here. It's like, watch your step. Grandpa, don't break a hip. Not at the zoo. Otherwise, we'll have to take you to the vet's office. And you know what they do with old things that break the legs? Put them down and sell them for glue. Not true at all. That's a horrible thing. A horrible thing to say about Grandpa. I guess actually I can start doing it over here. Just pretend. Order. Won't make you guys sit here and watch me fuss with how do I easily switch over and grab something. You know what? No. No, you know what? No. I just went on a rant about how I wanted to take full advantage of everything. We're gonna do it. We're gonna freaking do it. All right, we're gonna do it. Yeah, we can press escape, do that, and then we can move it. Yeah, we're gonna take the time. If we're gonna care about making this my dream zoo, then gosh dang it, I'm gonna actually do it. You know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Okay, there we go. I know there's no power. We'll get there. We'll get there because there's gonna be power for everything else eventually as we get there. So we'll, like, I'm basically just gonna put enough. Eventually, I'm gonna put enough. What am I trying to say? Enough solar panels all around that there's not a square inch of this place that doesn't have power. No reason not to. Other than, like, guests might get, like, snippy about, like, oh, I don't like the way it looks. I don't want to see that. Like, well, then look the other way and watch the two giraffes that are trying to hump. It's magical. It's magically awkward, and you really don't want to miss nature's majesty like that. Oh. See, now we're actually getting into the woods. We're making progress. Boom, and then like what we can do. So now here's where it's going to start getting a little tricky. I won't really be able to do necessarily my same like even distribution that we've been doing for all of this. We'll have to start getting a little jazzy pizzazzy with how we place these things. Woo, put it on top of the tree. I love that it lets me interact with like tree leaves and stuff. Like again, speaking to the detail that they give, but like that's definitely an example of like, okay, you know, maybe dial it back a bit. We don't need to accidentally put an ATM machine 30 feet up in the tall, like at the top of a redwood. Not like I agree it's funny, but it's not functional. Okay, I'm learning how to do it pretty well. Now for these intersections I've been doing like that, and I think that works out pretty well. Put these right by the benches, that way it can like blind little Timmy as he's sitting down. It's getting dark, I want to sit down. Welcome to the zoo, Jimmy. Go. And then let's go ahead and grab. I see, and like it's okay for there to be a lot of lights because this is like the food court area, so we want it to be a bit easier to like see and navigate for the people. Everything I do is for the people. Perfect. So that's good. And that's our first bump out going in that direction. And I do want to come back up here so I don't forget to get this area back here. Music is so chill for this game. Like it really does fit the mood and of the atmosphere of just like constructing a zoo. Something a little whimsical about it, but mostly just relaxing. It'd be awesome if everything in life was this easy. Like, oh, you want to put some lights? Okay. What are you asking about money? There's no worries about money. Just take as many as you want and put them exactly in the places you want. Yeah, that's that great. Hey, you want to have your own business operating a zoo? Okay. No, you don't need credentials. Just make a zoo. Do it. Why not? Let's see here. So we do need to get up there, but that leads us all the way up there to another big loop. So we're gonna save that for a little later. I want to finish what I've started here with the food court area. You know, some of these are gonna need a little bit more lighting of their own. And sneak it in there. Actually, it's probably a good idea to like make sure there are lights that are like kind of right by all of the shops themselves. I wonder if we should put like the wall lights and stuff that it has. Like maybe it would be a good idea to like put some of these. Is it not automatically? Okay. Maybe it only does it like, maybe it's not, it's assumed that you wouldn't put them there. And like maybe it's just meant to be like, no, it just treats them weird. Okay. It just does weird things, that's all. Alright, I'm going to not worry about it for now. And instead, we're just going to keep placing our little lamps. Placing our little lamps all around. I gotta go back here and get all of these areas. Yeah, see, like, I think it'd be a good idea to, like, make sure we've got lights kind of right there. Lighting up the whole walkway up to the shops. We gotta make sure people know where they can go to spend their money after all. And, like, that does sound a little greedy, I recognize, but, hey, man, this is business. This is business. We can't keep in business and keep the animals happy and do rehabilitation programs and repopulation programs if we ain't making that bread. So, pay up, you scrubs. You got ATMs all around. Okay, there we go. So we're caught up. Just our happy little light. I feel like I'm handling kind of my inner Bob Ross here, right? Like he would take the time to put the details of putting in the happy little birds and the happy little trees and all that stuff. And all right, I'm gonna do the same thing with my happy little lights. And it'll make us happy little people. And all will be right with the world. There. There. Yeah. Oh, oh. Go in the tree. On the ground. There. Boop. Do that, and then let's get this little before I forget about it. About to do that because this little stretch of pathway before I forget about it. Another Slipknot song before I forget. Before I forget that. It was on Guitar Hero. It was one of the first songs I ever heard that really got me into heavy metal. And my parents have never regretted getting me a video game more. Because now I worship Satan. Shouldn't smack talk my parents like that. My parents are wonderfully supportive people. It's true, they were not big fans of me being a big fan of heavy metal in high school. That's no fib. They were not fans of that, but they tolerated it, and they let me be my own individual. So long as I wasn't like getting in trouble, like doing drugs or anything, they're pretty okay with me doing whatever I wanted to do. I ain't got no complaints. Something's like cathartic about taking the time to do this, like and doing it exactly right. Oh, hi there. Yeah, there's just something relaxing about this whole game, like the whole process of how this game operates. I'm just gonna put one right there because we got those two right there. I feel like right there is a good spot for one. Perfect. Yeah, this game is just like something so zen about it. Like, I'm gonna be honest, since I started playing this game, it's like it's pretty easily one of the things I look forward to the most about my streams. Being able to stream this game on Fridays. Like, what a good way to cruise into the weekend, am I right? Like, it's just so chill and calm. And I don't know, man. Hope everyone else enjoys it. So relaxing. People can see their way to the bathroom. And yeah, good, that is the exit. Occurred to me that we gotta make sure the bathroom has an exit, otherwise people are gonna be all over our well-manicured lawns. Look at the lawns, there's nothing well-manicured about them, but I kind of like it that way. Like I say, I want this to feel almost like a, you know, like a North American national, like campground, national park campground or something, is really what I want the feel of it to be. Right. Need a whole lot of extra lights beyond the ones that handle the pathway openers here, I guess. There. Just for the sake of any maintenance crews that need to check on the lamps, or rather the solar panels. There we go, perfect. Okay, so we got that whole section taken care of. Now let's go ahead and take care of this little area I said I was going to save for later. Favorable angle. There. Yeah, we can do it right there and right, maybe. Perfect. And that's perfect. I think it's a bit of a space, but I think that'll work. And right there. Right there. Beautiful. Beautiful. needs meditation? Build a zoo. Sorry, I realize I'm not being super emotive right now. My throat is feeling the big scratch from the cold and from all the talking. Like, I can tell that I've been streaming for, gosh, how long has it been now? For almost 3 hours. You can tell I've been doing it. I'm gonna be very quiet tonight during my training sessions, because I am not gonna have much of a voice left. It's worth it. It's worth it. I love being here. Missed it the first couple days of the cold when things were bad enough that I didn't even think I could make it an hour. I missed it. I'm glad I'm back, and that's why I'm pushing forward. Because I also really wanted to play this game, but I don't like progressing projects like game saves or anything like that when I can't like stream it, right? Because I like to have, if I start streaming it, I like the whole process to be, you know, captured in one project. But a lot of times I don't want to have to start fresh on like a different save file, because then, like, if you get too far ahead in one or the other save file, you know, you can get confused about what's going on between either of them. You know, you get spoilers for yourself depending on how you're playing and what the game is. So I really wanted to sit down, spend some time playing this game, because it just, the zen, chill, relaxing, it fits the mood that I'm in, you know, today, and just like this week in general. Because like I say, even though I've got this cold and I do feel like butts, I'm just like, I'm happy with stuff lately. Just such a cool place to be. Such a cool place to be. And I'm happy for it, because there's been lots of times in my life when that has not been the case. Without, you know, going into too much detail that most people probably don't care about. Suffice to say, hold on, editing that at all. Just kind of noticed that border was sitting. But yeah, no, I've had times in my life when I wasn't quite as content as I am right now, so I'm happy to be in a place where I can just kind of sit back and enjoy that. Okay, we got that section done. That handles all of that. This is our main drag highway. That's gonna have its own stuff going on there, and that's where we're gonna put the larger lamps, and we'll get to those. But we need to, so we've got that section, got all of that stuff, so we just need to get kind of back here, going along this section. We can kind of, maybe we'll get this section, then we can do our little forest walk section there, which will then bleed into this little loop here. So there's not much left. There's not much left, and then we can take a break from lamp. Well, no, we can't take a break from lamps. We have to do our main highway lamps. There's no break from the lamps. There will be no lamp breaks. So I could honestly just like plop these lights like just dotted in the middle here, and like they would probably, do they hover? Hold on, let me. Yeah, they poke out over the top. If they were like flush with the ground, I would totally put them right over this log path, and it would just be like intermittent logs that glow along the pathway, and that would look so cool. I mean, I guess I could still kind of do that, and we could just use our imaginations to say that that's what it looks like. But I don't know. The thing is, I've already committed to this, and already spent a good, like, what, 20 minutes, half hour working on this. I'm not redoing all of those. Like, it's one thing if I have to redo one or two of them. If I have to redo a couple hundred that I've probably put down at this point in time, we'll just stick with what we got, because this is good too. There's nothing wrong with the way we have it right now, to say the least. This is our little keeper village, so to speak. Like, this is where all the staff rooms and everything are, like where the vet hospital is, and where the trade center is, and like all of the keeper stuff is just kind of back here. It's this little keeper village, because I know that guests don't like to see the behind the scenes stuff as much, so I thought I'd put all of the keepers kind of back here in their own little village, out of sight, out of mind kind of thing, right? We got a nice tree screen right there. I mean, like, you know, if you're walking down the pathway, like right here, you can kind of see back in there, but for the most part, like, we got that nice tree screen, and it just kind of looks like there's like a cabin hut there, and I think that's nice. I mean, you know, functionally, the game might still be kind of weird about it, because games don't, like, have psychology, they just have numbers. You know, there's no program, but, you know, like I say, we can use our imagination. You can just imagine that if we were walking through here, that's what it would look like to us, and it would be kind of nice. Be a kind of a nice experience. Oh, nice. This zoo is gonna be so awesome when it's done. Like, is it gonna be the best zoo that anyone has ever made? You know, I don't know. But am I gonna be proud of it? And am I gonna enjoy just kind of looking at it when it's done? You bet I will. Be careful, because we're like right up against the edge of our property here. Make sure the neighbors don't get really ticked off if like a single glowing log piece dips over onto their property. So help me. What she said. Couldn't let it go. Also what she said, actually, now that I think about it. Now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure she said both of those things. Hope I'm not talking too quiet for the stream. I'm trying to not get too excited and shouty, because that is a really good way to freshly tear up my throat even more than it's already feeling. Trying to walk that line here. I guess I could like move the mic a little bit closer to me just to be safe. I'll do that. See if that does anything. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to sit here and stare at the levels, and I don't want to do that. That's not good television. Is that an applicable phrase? Does this count? Is this close enough to television that we can say, like, it's not good TV? I mean, it is twitch.tv, right? So I guess that counts. Alright, okay, so we got that little area there. So now we just got to get our forest walk and going around here. I'm going to get the forest walk because it's going to be a little bit more tricky to kind of place everything, because we got all the trees around. I got to make sure I don't accidentally, you know, put them up in the treetops. We'll put, again, right by the exhibits there, so that way people can kind of get some good light going up to the building there, especially because we're tucked into here. It's going to be very dark at night, and just careful in that area. See, that's the type of thing where it's, if I let myself be in a rush, to easily end up putting a stray, you know, having an errant tree light where I certainly don't want any of those at all. Okay. Let's go ahead, and I'm pretty sure this is where this will meet up here. And then this one will go around and it meets up over there. Yep. So we'll go ahead following this pathway. Oops. Oh, shoot. Wrong mouse. There we go. Oop. Loop. 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 I don't know that we need to along this path. It seems short enough we could get away with one set, but money is not a factor. Literally, says unlimited down in the corner. Literally, money is no concern. Chose that option very purposefully because I just wanted to have the freedom to create what my heart wanted to create. My heart wants to create a badass zoo. Badass zoo. There will certainly be lots of animal asses. You know that's for sure. Pretty much every animal that could be here comes with an ass. I feel like, shoot, what's her name? Bob's Burgers. Lois is, not Lois, Linda's sister. What's her name? Oh, I'm blanking on it. When she, like, makes her art and it's all animal butts. And, like, they all had a butthole. She wanted to hang them up in the restaurant. That show does such a good job of, like, coming up with, like, you know, conflicts within the show, you know, episode conflicts and storylines that are, like, things that are somehow both small issues, yet also very, very, like, realistically concerning ones. Like, what a small issue. There's paintings with buttholes. But, like, it's in a restaurant. You don't want pictures of animals' buttholes. Like, you just don't want that. So good. And then we can just do right there. There, perfect. Okay, forest walk is done. Now we just gotta finish the loop around here. Gosh, the song right now is so triumphant. I gotta make sure I finish up this little, this part of the project before the song's over, so that way it's like we triumphantly finished the forest walk path. The forest walk lights. We're so close. I can feel it. I can feel it. Also, I can just generally judge distance. But also, I can feel it. Oh, I missed that. I missed the end of the song, this triumphant one. By just like 2 sets of lights. We'll just put right there and right there. Sweet. Okay, there we go. So there's all of our forest walk lights. Okay, I need to take a quick break so I can just go like blow my nose and clear out my throat and grab a cough drop and not do it on mic so that I, you know, because I don't want to blow out anyone's eardrums. So I'm going to go do that really quickly. Probably refresh my beverage and everything. I'll be back in like 2 minutes tops. This is a very short break. I just got to try to be a little less gross here. So sit tight. I appreciate the patience. Alright, I'm back. Please excuse me. Don't mean to be rude, but I am going to be enjoying a delicious Paul's cough drop to try and help my throat a bit here, so I'll do my best to refrain from making too many sucking jokes. Considering that's what I'm doing right now. Oh boy. Alright. Alright, so okay. We got a lot of those lamps going. Gosh, like that's a lot of me just sitting here doing lamp. What is? Our army. You know what that is? That's our army of of employees for all these buildings, because I installed them all at once, and then we let it like set on play for a few seconds. We're coming. We will not be short-staffed. That is for sure. All right, yeah, I do want to do lamps around here, but you know what I'm gonna do just to make it a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. Let me reset the filters. Look at our lamps, and I'm gonna find lamps. I'm gonna try and find lamps that like ones. It'd be even better if they were circular. I want to find some lamps that just maybe this one. And I'm not sure I'm stoked about the color there, but something like this, so it like I don't have to worry about trying to rotate them to make it look nice, because that's gonna take, if I have to rotate them, because like with these ones I want to rotate them, right, because I don't want all of these to be facing the same way, and that's gonna take for freaking ever. I don't want to do that. Those are all expansion pack that I don't have. So let's limit our options a little bit. Wall lights aren't helpful. Are all DLC. Is that really a wall lamp? Put it on the ground and treat it like it's not. I mean, I guess I can just go with that. Man, they really don't have a whole lot of... Yeah, all of these lamps are... Like, I was hoping for something like this, but it was just like a single little lantern on the top, right? Or something like this with a single orb on top is what I was hoping for. Those are pretty. I don't want to... I also want them to be pretty theme free, at least in appearance. Because this is our main drag highway, right? Because we're looking at our zoo, right? So like each of these sections is a different continent that'll feature different animals. And so for our main drag highways here, I kind of want these to be like theme neutral, so that you can, you know, so because it's the idea is like you're walking through here, and then when you get to different places, then those themed places will have the themed lights like we were doing before. But I think these ones, these Indian street lights, I mean, like the colors, and when you like really get in there, oh, why'd they make them so grimy? I think that's kind of a rude implication. Look at these Indian themed ones, they're gross. It's kind of mean. But I feel like they're neutral enough. They're pretty close to what I was thinking, like what I was imagining. So I think we can go ahead and do these. And we'll just plop these around along our pathway. And they will do the job just fine. Is what I think I'm going to do. And we're going to try and put these ones on our little curb here going around. And what I think I'm going to do is, like, there's our entryway here. But to make it go a little bit quicker, what I'm going to start doing is staggering these ones, because I imagine these ones being top down will be able to provide a lot more light than the ones from the ground, so we can get away with fewer of them while still sort of producing the same amount of light. Oh, look at that. I'm just going to go ahead and say I intentionally did that and not admit that it was a complete lucky accident that the placement of these lamps is working so perfectly with the placement of those pathways. 100% on purpose, first try. This might be getting a little too spaced out. I'm not gonna change them, but I'm gonna start making these a little bit closer again. So you do that, and that will be perfectly sufficient for allowing people to see where the crap they're going when they are walking around our zoo at night. That. It gets on the pathway rather than way down below it when we get little overpasses. I think what I'm going to do is get our entire perimeter walk here. It'll take a minute, but that's okay. I wonder I wonder if I can, I wonder if I'm good enough to like get the targets this far away so I can get a whole bunch of them. Gosh, I feel like I'm straining my eyes to do it, but it'll work. Because I can always move them. Like if I'm down in a more detailed look and I notice one of them is off in its placement, then I can always like go back in and change it. You know, you can at any time really, you can grab something and move. So there's no reason to feel like if I do it wrong now, you know, forever hold your peace kind of situation. So we'll do that. There. The one thing I'm kind of worried about is from this far away doing these ones with like the overpass that have the railing. I really hope I'm not putting them. Yeah, like that one. See where I did too good and I got it right on top of the railing. Dang it. I knew that would happen. I knew I would do that. There you go. That's where you belong. Yeah, I would have been doing it with all of them. No worries. Well, lesson learned. I guess I'm not good enough to do it from far away like that. We'll just have to take the time to do it. It's worth it though. Like, I don't know. This might just be a personality thing, right? But I kind of like finding games like this, right? Where you can, like, if you really wanted to be in a rush to succeed at the game, like, there are probably ways that we could really expedite. And I could be much less concerned about, you know, object placements and things like that. You know, there's certainly a lot of ways that I could be going about this much more, quote-unquote, efficiently than the way I am. But I think there's a lot of value in life in general. I mean, this is going to go on to philosophy of Enviroboy, right? Even beyond the game. But I think there are a lot of situations in life where it's like, certainly there are faster ways to go about things, but that doesn't, just because there is a faster way to do it doesn't mean it's necessary to do that. If that makes sense. Like, I think in a lot of modern cultures we get very hung up on, you know, that go, go, go mentality. You know, produce, earn. You know, log more hours. Get more stuff done. Be more efficient. You know, that's just like, it's a really pervasive part of our lives in modern times. And in some ways, that's a good thing. I'm not going to say that it's bad all the time that we are worried about being more efficient and more productive with our time. A lot of human advancements sort of rely on that mentality, at least for some things. But I think the danger is it's really easy to forget to slow down from time to time. And I think a lot of people would benefit from adopting a mindset of finding ways to enjoy the slow among the fast-paced, right? Like, is it necessary for me to put these lamps here and have this detail? No, certainly. But if it's not harming anything, then, there's a lot to gain from just sort of meditatively working my way through this and enjoying the process of making something that's just going to be that much more detailed and that much more beautiful than it would otherwise be. Right? It's like finding the art out of a situation that might otherwise just be a mechanical checklist. And I think there's a lot of beauty and value to that. And that's why I really like to kind of sit here and take the time to do this, right? It's like, am I going to be able to say, I created X number of exhibits in my game today, and there are X many dollars in the game today? Whoops. No. But first off, there's no grading, there's no rubric, so don't need to worry about that. And secondly, I'm having a really nice time just kind of sitting here. Like, this seems repetitive, but what some people might see as repetitive, I see as being very meditative. And I'd like to think that there are probably a few other people who can kind of see it that way. It's just, it's I don't know, it's something that I think about a lot. Like, like when I'm doing my D&D writing, right? When I'm doing my world building, is it necessary for me to put in the details, the amount of care that I put into those things? No. And certainly I'd be able to produce a lot more, and I might be able to, make a fair amount of money. Sorry for my crunching. I've reached that stage of the cough drop here. I might even stand to make a chunk of change if I were to expedite my writing process and just kind of, rapid fire out some basic D&D campaigns for people to, buy for $2 a pop on DriveThruRPG, right? Like, I could certainly do that. But to me, doing that would abandon the purpose of why I take the time to do it, right? The reason I do it in the first place, the reason I world build and write homebrew stuff for D&D, is that I love the process of imagining the details. I love taking the time to sort of meditate and get lost in the hypothetical, fictional details of things. I love to imagine what an environment looks like, sounds like, smells like, feels like. How warm is it? How cold is it? All that kind of stuff, right? And there's a zen. There's a zen place of mind to be, right? Like, there's two ways to approach that type of thing. We can bring it back to what we're doing right now with these lamps. You could sit there and be impatient and be in a rush and be thinking like, oh gosh, I just want this to be done. What can I do to make this faster, right? And get sloppy and try to do that. And like, I don't even really like using the word sloppy, because I don't. There's to me, there's not even an implication that it's like, there shouldn't even be an implication that it's worse to do things fast, but rather that there's benefit to doing things slow. And whether you choose to do it in a game like this or somewhere else in your life, it's beneficial to find something and take the slow approach from time to time, right? Because like with this, there's no need for me to put this many lamps down and be this concerned about it. But when I'm sitting here trying to imagine, like I'm considering this project my fun, joyful attempt to virtually construct my, my perfect dream zoo. And when I think about my perfect dream zoo, there are lights on the paths. So that way people can show up after dark and see how the animal behaviors differ at night. And so, we need lights on the paths. So, this medium allows me the chance to create that vision, take advantage of that, enjoy this. Because then when I finally do finish this part of it, then it's like, hey, we've got that much more, tender loving care put into this place, that much more of an accurate depiction of what we would actually imagine if we closed our eyes. And that's something that I can feel proud of. So, thanks for coming to my TED Talk, I guess. Didn't really mean for that to turn into quite as meditative of a rant as it did, but I guess that sort of exemplifies what I mean when I say this kind of puts me in that mindset. And I am A-okay with that. Oops. Get back. Where'd it go? Nowhere to go. I've exhausted all of these lamps in the world. There are no more. Cannot put more. Oh boy, man, I'm feeling it in my throat. My throat is so scratchy. My poor cold-ridden body. Good news is, because we haven't put any trees up, it's actually still going quite swimmingly. Quite quickly. Despite the early snafus with the railings. That's another good example of what I was talking about. Like, would it have been faster for me to keep going the way I was going and just, accept that some lamps are going to be in weird places? 100%. And I kind of was even there. But then I saw it and I was like, you know what? I'm just not satisfied knowing that that's the approach I'm taking. I'm not content knowing that I'm taking the easy way out. Especially, and I think a lot of it, hey, there we go. We looped in. Now we just got to do our central connecting pathways here. And I think a lot of that, too, also kind of links to the fact that, this isn't, I'm not doing something because someone told me to. This is 100% because I want to make this zoo. So why on earth would I shortchange that, right? Why on earth would I not make the zoo that I want to make? There's literally no reason to do anything except for that. Oh, lemonade does not taste good immediately after a cough drop. Oh, but I need the fluid. Yeah. I'm gonna give it another minute before I take another sip. Like a small child. Yeah. Alright. Now let's get our connectings. I'll probably just kind of follow the flow of each of these. So it's we'll get that one. Then we'll come back and get that road. And then maybe we can get that road and just kind of get the spider webs. We'll get them all. But I think it'll be easier to keep track of where I've gone and where I'm going. And the spacing. If I finish one long stretch at a time. And I can even hear it in my voice. Oh no. Spacing's gonna be kind of weird. One right there, that'll be fine. I could go back and change all of them so that it dots right there, but I actually think that looks just fine. We could put a trash can there and it'll add sort of a sense of balance there and it'll be fine. Even with all my talk about enjoying the patience and the time and attention to detail, even with all that talk, I have my limits. Feel bad, people are gonna come in here, me playing Planet Zoo, thinking that there's gonna be animals everywhere. Meanwhile, I've turned it into Planet Lamp. That's all that I've been. That's literally the only thing I've done this whole stream so far, isn't it? I put lamps down. And what a time it was. Okay. We had a good chat while we were doing it. And we found ourselves some centered inner peace. And there ain't nothing wrong with ever taking a moment to do that. Getting pretty close to the end of this stretch here. Want one more? I don't think we need one more. I think there's plenty of lamps, right? Okay, so now let's go back here. Let's grab this one. Work okay. Could almost even skip one right there. I mean, I could just put a second one right over there and just kind of have a double up there, but I don't know. I'm okay with it how it is. I think that doesn't ruin the aesthetic I'm looking for, really. That one right. Okay, now is where we got to be a little attentive. I'm gonna put our angle right here. Then we can not have any of the trees getting in our way. And make sure all of our lamps are kind of going on the ground instead of on the railings. And it'll be lovely. It'd be a good idea to put down solar panels immediately once I'm done with the lamps here. Although the flip side is, if I'm building everything all at once, I will need to be building solar panels for other constructed buildings, and I bet you a lot of those will just sort of inherently capture all of these lamps. So, maybe okay. Yeah, perfect. We can leave those lamps like that. That's perfect. Okay, excellent. If we catch this one, that gets both of those connectors, and then we can get that one and that one. Perfect. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do the solar panels immediately or not. We'll see. We'll finish the lamps first, then we'll see where we're at. Let's finish our lamps. I love lamp. I'm not just saying that because I saw the lamp. Right there. There. Right there. There. And there. Oops. Look at this. That's a mistake right there. We need to fix that up right there. That was a safety hazard. OSHA would not have been happy with that. Alright, where's our lamp? There we go. See, that's the type of stuff that you miss. Like, I had no idea that that was there. And that's just the kind of thing that you miss when you're... Ooh, I don't like that placement. Hold on. We can do better. We can do better than that. No, but see, now that's up there. I know there's no power. There it is. Okay. Actually, maybe I'll do it from up top and just be careful. Oh. If it'll work. Maybe... Oh, here we go. If we do it from this view. It'd be hard to judge distance. But yeah, you see, that's exactly the kind of thing you miss when you kind of get yourself in a rush about things. So it makes me happy that we slowed down for a second there I actually took the time to figure out what we needed to figure out. Can we put through? Oh, because it's going to make it hover, isn't it? All right, we'll just have to kind of pivot back and forth. That's okay. Take that long to just pivot the camera after all. Here. There. Oh, this one's being kind of weird about placement, isn't it? Ooh, what's it? There we go. That was being weird. That one was being really weird. You guys saw that, right? That was weird. Oh, goodness. See, those are that's another thing that you kind of miss if you're rushing through games. You might not really get the chance to appreciate the goofy little things that happen in them. Whether it's an intentional Easter egg or a bug or something like that. Yeah, see, look, it's doing it again. Doing it again. It's weird. Why are you doing that? Come on, man. Why are you doing that? Yeah, what do you suppose is making it do that? Look at it. It's like there's an invisible barrier. Weird. That's wild. I think that kind of pulled it off. Yeah, I think that was a little cheesy. I think it wasn't actually thinking it was on the pathway, but we got it to kind of hover where we wanted it, so so no worries there. That. Gonna do it on this side too. See, we'll get it. We'll get it. Just gotta be patient. And now it's being pretty cooperative. There we go. There. Ooh, it was trying to be funky. And it might have been easier if we didn't have this as an elevated pathway. I don't think I intentionally made it elevated. And that may be something that I edit at some point. But I actually don't really mind it being a little elevated. I don't have a problem with it, so I'm going to leave it for now. You might be able to do something kind of interesting with it in the future. We'll see what happens. We'll see where the world, where life takes us on that one. Ooh, the spacing is just a little, because of the way they're spaced. I'm going to put that there. That doesn't actually look too jarring. It looks okay. Oh, man. Yeah, my throat is, my voice is failing me. Yeah, my throat is just like, my throat's like, okay, hurry up. Come on, man. When are we done with this? But I don't want to, I want to at least finish these lamps. I got to finish these lamps. Lamps, they compel me. Makes no damn sense. Compels me, though. Fuck, these elevated walkways do get kind of tricky to get these lamp placements, don't they? Something about the way it handles the elevated pathway is what causes it, apparently. This is not like Eminem's Two Trailer Park Girls, okay? I don't want them around the outside. I want them on the inside. Kind of. I don't want to just merge there. Like, it does bother me a little bit that there's that clipping going on there, but I think that's an easy enough one to just kind of look past, because it's like, functionally in the real world, like if that were the situation, they would just kind of have the lamps built in to the railing, and that would actually be kind of a way to handle it, is just like have these right over each, like right over a railing post or something, but boy, like I say, even I have my limits. I like the Zen careful placement, but there's just everyone's got a limit, man. Everyone's got limits. See, look, it's doing it again. Sometimes you just kind of get those really wonky ones that just are stubborn. Now we're on level ground. We can enjoy a little bit of ease. So much quicker. No. Alright, that's okay. Oh. Perfect. That's actually really elevated. I didn't really notice how high off the ground you kind of are there. Made me do that because of that slope there, but I mean, I probably could have navigated that one a bit more elegantly, but I will say too, the pathways in this game, like making the pathways was one of the things that also kind of made me establish a limit to how much attention to detail I was willing to put. Like, we'll get there and like make some modifications as necessary. That's close. You know, we can make modifications as needed. But like, generally speaking, when I was making these pathways, I was like, you know what, we're just going to put them down there, and then we can just kind of fill in some gaps around them and make that a feature. Because it was tricky trying to navigate some of these complex hills that it gave me to work with. But I was really determined to use the natural landscape as it was. I did not want to abandon the hills that the map generator gave me to work with, because I think they're cool. They're cool details to work around, and I think it just kind of makes a cooler zoo if we at least treat it somewhat realistically, in that we're willing to work with the environment, right? Because like, that's what you would do in real life, is you work with the hills and find a way to kind of incorporate them rather than just gouging them out. Well, I mean, I guess nowadays there's a lot of real rich companies that would be happy to gouge out a hill for the sake of constructing a building, but that's not how I wanted to operate. Not what I wanted to do. Like, doing that just kind of felt counterintuitive to like creating a natural environment, or at least a place that encourages knowledge, understanding, and protection of natural environments, you know? Because zoo. Seems wrong for a zoo to get too industrialized. Like a balance to strike there for sure. Gotta be getting close. Yeah, we're getting close. There, perfect. I think we can get 2 more in. Yeah, I'm gonna get 2. Am I gonna get 2 more in? No, I'm just gonna get 1 more in. More in right here. Make sure it's not doing our little hover lamp. Perfect. There we go. All right. We just spent an hour and a half getting the lamps to be just right. And it's like I don't know, like I say, I had a big long monologue about it in there. Impromptu, that certainly wasn't planned to monologue about it, but like, I don't know, like the whole point of this project is to create my dream zoo, and my dream zoo has lamps, right? And it's like, if it takes the time, you know, if it takes time to put the lamps, then I'll take the time to do it, and it'll take the time it takes to build my dream zoo. But it's like, you know, I want it to be lovely and wonderful, not shoddy and not actually true to what I'd want it to be. So all right, so there's lamps. It's a little earlier than normal, but my throat is just killing me right now. So I'm really sorry to do it, but I think I'm gonna have to end the stream here today. Let me save here. Let's go ahead and save our zoo here. Save Animal Land. And yeah, I'm sorry. I don't like ending streams early, but oof, my throat is struggling right now, so I'm gonna bring us here, and I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Thank you so much to everyone who stopped by. Hopefully, this was a good. We didn't do much animal working, but like we made progress on our zoo. We made some important progress. Like that was a kind of a big lengthy step that we took the time to do there, and I'm glad we did it. So hopefully it was at least a nice chill zen bit of background noise for you. That's kind of what I aim for, especially with these with these Zoo, not Zoo Tycoon, Planet Zoo streams and everything. I genuinely have a blast doing these things. I think this is really fun. I love getting to be kind of creative like this. It's a very different version of world building than what I do for my D&D, so I have a really good time with it. But hopefully you had a good time as well. Like I say, I'm sorry it's short today. My throat is it's just dying right now. So I'm gonna take a break and probably go lay down and doze before I have to go to my training sessions tonight. Just before I sign, excuse me, yeah, see, there's going. Before I sign off, I will say you can find me on various social medias. You can find the links on the the about section of my Twitch page, or you can find them in the video description below if you're watching on YouTube. I've got a Discord if you like talking about video games or D&D type stuff. If you want to stay up to date on what my streaming schedule is, if I have to change anything any given week, get connected with the Discord. It's a really good place to kind of stay in touch. I use it a lot to stay in touch and see kind of, what my audience is up to. So that's a really good option. I have my Twitter, Envira Streams. You can follow me there for updates about when I'm going live and stuff like that. You can get like little tweets if I'm going live and stuff like that, if that makes it easier for you to know. You can do that. And then occasionally I'll just tweet out random thoughts. I don't really know how Twitter works, but hey, I'm trying and I'm having fun with it. I also have an Instagram, EnviraBoy Streams. I post a lot of footage from when I'm doing my kickboxing training and stuff like that. So, if you're curious about what that's all about, then you can check me out there on Instagram. I have a lot of fun with that one. And then, of course, if you're not already watching there, I do have my YouTube channel, EnviraBoy on YouTube. Or if you're watching on YouTube and you want to watch me live, check me out, EnviraBoy, on Twitch. Today's Friday. This is the last stream of the week. Thank goodness I can take a weekend to just rest and heal up a little bit more. But I genuinely had a blast. Next week I should be holding my usual schedule, which is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time is when we start, and that's when we do a little bit of D&D campaign, world building type stuff. We do some writing there, and then at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time is when we switch over and do video gaming, and I play a variety of games throughout the week. So you can check me out then. Hopefully we'll see you next week. I'd love to see all y'all's there. The one other link that's there, I'll just mention it, is I do have a donation link. If you want to donate and, help me grow the stream, with better equipment and stuff like that, you certainly can. But honestly, the most supportive thing that people do for me right now, and that means a lot to me, is just hanging out, watching, having a good time, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, all the stuff that all people making any media will tell you to do. You all know it. That stuff is genuinely really helpful for me. It's because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good knowing that people are liking what I'm doing and are here hanging out and, sharing these zen moments of making a zoo and stuff like that with me. It just makes it a whole lot of fun. It's why I keep coming back and doing it, even when when I'm sick and my throat is dying, and it would be easier to just lay down and take a nap. So, all right, that's all I got. I'm gonna stop talking now. Thank you so much to everyone who stopped by. I appreciate you guys. Take care of yourselves. Have a good weekend. And I'll catch you cats on the flip side.